learned it. The Secret of the Ooze. The re-release of the Toka and Razar 2-pack. The final item in this box. The Secret of the Ooze VHS 4-pack. My unadulterated first reaction here.
A moment to reflect.
I love turtles. All right, so here are the 4 turtles out of the packaging, and there was a minor to major casualty while unboxing. If you get this set, be very careful while removing Leonardo. All I did was start to gently pry him out of the plastic clamshell, and his scabbards just sort of exploded. And as you can see, the outer shell of this one sort of popped off the bottom, and this one behind it is just actually busted. Now this really fucking stinks. NECA has a history with the NECA tight joints and everything, but I've never actually had a figure break upon opening like this. Now the material for Leo's scabbards feels significantly cheaper than the plastic used in everything else, like borderline bootleg. Now this one, big deal. I can just sort of glue that back on. Might lose some of the functionality of being able to get his swords all the way in there, but this one's actually busted. Thankfully, I've had good luck with NECA customer service, and I'll probably be able to just shoot them an email and they'll send me a replacement part. I'll absolutely leave a comment and pin it with what happens there. But besides that heartbreaking incident, look at them. It's the Toidles. Now, it might be my disillusion with Hasbro and Star Wars The Black Series at the moment, but I was pretty worried that NECA was going to just reuse the bodies of the first turtles and just slap new head sculpts on them. There is a decent amount of reuse, like a good deal of the limbs are reused, but design-wise, those were very much the same across the films. The biggest differences are the front of the shells. You can see here that on the 90s turtles, they're a bit sharper instead of the more rounded edges of Secret of the Ooze turtle. Raph here's a really good example to show off that they are the same shell, since you can see all those markings on his shells and those all match up pretty much identically. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but to me it appears that the main reuses are the biceps, the legs and the feet, and the main back part of the shells. There's some differences in the forearms, like with Raphael here. Like on the first one, he's kind of got this big old vein on his bicep, and the new one, he doesn't really have it at all. Now, there were some slight differences in the bicep sculpts on the first round of figures, like some veins on the biceps and stuff. All of it is very, very nitpicky. It's very specific details. The elbow pads and knee pads are actually different sculpts. I couldn't tell at first, but they are completely different sculpts. There are some slight similarities, but instead of having this corset system with these sort of silver sockets there, these ones are just sort of sculpted and are painted with a darker brown. You can also see the difference in the knee pads, and that same translates to the elbow pads. And the paint job is just as high quality as the originals. The biggest differences between the two that you can tell right off the bat is the lighter color of the front side of the shell on the first round of turtles. Secret of the Ooze, it's more of a muted tan instead of that yellow color. The biggest difference with these figures is absolutely the face sculpts. The masks made by Jim Henson's Creature Shop were quite different for Secret of the Ooze. They made the eyes bigger and they made them a bit more smiley and look more like the cartoon. You can really tell with Donnie here and his sort of like beaked nose there. And with those more cartoony head sculpts, they have those longer bandana tails. Now on top of that, inside of the set, you get this whole tray of accessories, and I've just sort of left them in here because they're displayed nicely. You get these sort of wider gesturing hands. You get these tighter gesturing hands that can grab like some larger objects here. You have these pointing hands, as well as these 2 thumbs up hands. Now, all of the hands are interchangeable between the turtles, and they all have sets of just normal vanilla grabbing hands. On top of those, you also get a fire extinguisher, an alternate forearm, full TGRI canister, an empty TGRI canister, no deposit, no return, the foam baseball bat, 2 combat cold cuts, and these are like a rubbery plastic, and they actually kind of feel weirdly like sausages. We have some half-eaten slices of pizza, which is a great touch because we already have a bunch of slices of pizza from all of the other sets, so it's great that we're getting some eaten ones to add some variation. We also get a full slice of pizza with some dripping cheese, which has a hole through the middle of it to stick on Raphael's side.
Aha! Touchdown! Yeah!
And the last thing here is just this cardboard box of pizza.
Pizza!
Yep.
Again!
Pepperoni.
On the inside, there is a print for some like greasiness, and I really like that. The other set came with this, that was the tile game pizza, Domino's getting around licensing. But it has that sort of coupon on the front that's really cool. This was so funny to me, and I really, really enjoyed it, especially since Domino's was a big part of the first movie. You just see it a lot. It isn't really a part of the second, but I don't know. I just like the tile game pizza more than Papa La Rosa's here. And a really nice touch is that the inside of the packaging here is an image of their Subway hideout. It had a very distinct look in Secret of the Ooze when they found that new one, of that sort of abandoned Subway hub. And behind that inner display, there's this. This is a cardboard backdrop for the Dock Shore Club, which, if you remember in the movie, is where Vanilla Ice makes up an impromptu ninja rap. It's simple, it's effective, and it adds so much. I'm really happy that NECA decided to include this, because if you watched my 1,000 subscriber special, I talk about how I have the 2003 Ninja Turtles sewer layer as the main sort of backdrop for all my turtles. Well, there's not space in it anymore. So the Secret of the Ooze turtles are gonna have to sort of bleed in over here. You know, you see I got Shredder and Super Shredder up there, as well as the Movie Star Turtles. So this will serve as a very nice backdrop on that shelf. It's just like heavy duty cardboard, but it's heavier duty than I expected when I saw it on the website. And this is actually really nice quality, so I'm super hyped for this. Thanks for tuning in to the Nostalgic Network. The next couple episodes in the series will be out in the next following weeks, and we'll go more in depth and do reviews of these individual sets. So make sure that you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on those. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.